and
Teal.
You know what it is, man. You're locked in the Third and Teal where they keep it real. And if you don't know, you're going to learn today. Third and Teal, baby, and I'm out. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I saw
everybody.
Eric jamming the whole time, man. That's funny.
Man, every time it comes on, I be like, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So Third and Teal, we're back again. We will be taking a little break after this, either for about a week or so, or maybe a little longer, or maybe until the coaching news is announced. We start interviewing people. The only name I've actually heard for interview is Bill O'Brien. I don't know if that was actually it seemed like come from a pretty reliable source.
That was a 2022 tweet. I saw that come out today. Yeah, it was. I trust me. I screenshotted it and everything. It was a fucking jump scare. Oh man, it got me. It got me.
Okay.
It was.
Good.
It was
Anyways.
post dated 2022. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
But yes, we're gonna take a little break until some news comes out, or until we come back. We'll figure it out. We'll let y'all know. We'll figure. We'll do a short or something to say when we're coming back. Anyways, I got y'all with me, Eric, Trevor. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good considering we made a change.
Yeah, we did make a change.
Could have been no change.
Well, considering yesterday, I wanted it to happen right there. They had to catch a flight back.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy. They all got delayed.
Yeah. After playing the overtime game, like, okay, this is not, somebody don't want this to happen, but it's going to happen, damn it. But we got a lot to talk about today. It was a very interesting day. Half successful, half not. Depends on how you're looking at it. Glass half full, glass half empty. Depends on how you're looking at it. A lot to talk about, though. Really, a lot to talk about. I think the press conference with Shad and Trent Bulky, put some new light on what was actually going on upstairs that, I think some of us just really didn't pay attention to or had no clue about. So, yeah, we'll get into that, I'm sure. But I'm doing great, man. Thank you. Y'all see I got all my lights on. I ain't got my mood light on right now. So, yeah, we talking about some crap. My eyes are open, so we ready, y'all.
Serious business.
Yeah, we ready today.
Well,
all of that.
We, as everybody knows, we got rid of Doug Peterson and his staff, but we kept Trent Baalke. No, I'm just kidding. We ain't celebrating. I am glad. Yes, I am glad that the coaching staff is gone. Would I like to have seen Trent Baalke gone also? Absolutely. I mean, who would I have rather seen gone? The coaching staff, if I'm being 100% honest. If it was going to be one or the other, the coaching staff was definitely the right option. We're going to talk about it, but the more I think about it, the less of a horrible decision keeping Trent Baalke is, and more of just a really, really bad decision. It's still really bad, but I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are trying to make it out to be. But I don't think it's good either.
I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw it, I felt despair, utter just pain and despair. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, the more that I think about this, I don't like Trent Baalke, and I want this to be reiterated. I think he misses more often than not, and I think that alone should be a reason for him to go. Okay, but still. Okay, let's just think about this. Take away Trent Baalke, take away names. Let's just take away names. Let's think about this team. Let's think about this roster. Do we have our quarterback? Yes.
Yes.
Do we have at least 3 key defensive players that we can build a defense around? Yes. Do we have a number 1 and a number 2 at least receiver? Yes.
Yes.
Do we have a star tight end? Yes.
Yes.
Do we have a dual threat running back room that if we built the line could be very successful? Yes.
Yes.
All of those things being considered, now let's put the names back in. Also, at the same time, we also have the top 1 or 2. No, we have the number 1 special teams unit in the league. So we got to give them credit as well. So now let's put names back in. Trent Baalke brought most of those guys here.
That is a fact. That is
unfortunately, as much as we want to sit back, and as much as it really is beautiful, don't get me wrong. I think Trent Baalke should be gone alone just off of the simple fact that I don't believe Ben Johnson comes here with that.
You know what's funny, though? I saw something earlier. Him and Liam Cohen are still tied in Vegas odds to be the head coach of us next year. And Vegas is rarely ever wrong. So there's a damn good chance that one of the two of them still comes. Now, I don't think it'll be Johnson because I don't think Johnson's desperate. I think Liam Cohen's desperate.
He is.
I think he wants to be a head coach as soon as possible, and I'm not upset about it. I think he's a great play caller. Look what he's done down there with Baker Mayfield. Now, Tampa has a good team. Let's not act like they don't.
They got a really good team also. And I feel like they're us from a couple years ago. Scrappy and just barely winning games sometimes that they should have easily won, and sometimes they fall behind. I don't watch them enough to pretend to be like, an all-out, like, just breakdown play-by-play of them. I can't. But I can say I don't want someone that's going to come in here and skate us by. Because eventually, as we've already seen, the wheels will fall off and you will stop skating. You will start sliding.
Yeah.
And
they were scoring points all year.
Your ass is going to fall. Ain't no
sliding. And you're right. They are scoring points all year. So I don't know if it was the defense or not.
What did Baker have? Baker's 35 passing touchdowns or something like that? Like
they're in the playoffs too.
They're in the playoffs. Like I don't think their offense was the reason they were losing, which is weird to say because normally Tampa Bay is a very defensive team.
Yeah.
Right.
But another point I want to make, though, is, okay, so now that we brought the names back into it and the fact that Trent Baalke brought all these people here, like I said, I would love to see him gone simply because I want Ben Johnson, mainly because I, at this current time, believe Ben Johnson could be the next coming of Andy Reid. I fully believe that is a possibility. The way this man schemes.
Before you go any further, Let's congratulate Trevor Lawrence and his wife on their baby girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Girl.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Yes,
beautiful, healthy baby girl. I'm happy for him.
Absolutely. And
Shay.
Big baby. Shay is a big girl. 10 pounds. Big girl.
Poor Marissa, man.
Marissa put in work.
She just had to get with a giant. WNBA star right there. Something.
Swear to God. But one thing I want to say though, like, we're going to get into more details, obviously, as the show goes on. But the more I watch this presser, I feel like majority of the shit that Shad Khan said was media training. Majority. I feel like it was just what he felt like he needed to say to keep the building from burning down on some of them. But there were some things that he said that, again, when you're fucking right, you're right, as much as I don't like it. All right? And unfortunately, the thing he said, he was like, I went to Trent, I went to the coaching staff, I went to everyone about Trevor. That was a good decision. We were all overwhelmingly positive on signing Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
We all loved the signing of Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
But then I think the biggest thing, though, that's going to come to our defense that we could definitely break down more going on in the show, though, it's going to come to the defense of Trent Baalke, is the fact that it's confirmed now Ryan Nielsen is the exact reason that Eric Armstead was playing edge instead of interior.
Yes, that came out today as well.
I was going to mention that. I was going to say, like, if you're Trent Baalke, the arguments you can make. I drafted a second-round D tackle who has absolutely performed incredibly in the last stretch of the season. Mason Smith has played really good for a guy who got barely any reps in the beginning of the year, and they wouldn't play him. I brought them in a Super Bowl going to multiple-time playoff contender, one of the best D linemen in the league inside the tackles, and they played him at edge. I have Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker on this squad. I re-signed Josh Allen. I drafted Trayvon Walker #1 overall. He's the first player in franchise history he's the first player since Calais Campbell to have back-to-back double-digit sack seasons. And he might be the second player ever. I think he's the second player ever to get back-to-back double-digit season. I've brought in all of these guys. I brought in Gabe Davis, who played well in Buffalo, but then we have a terrible scheme that doesn't fit him. I brought in, all these guys, and he's talking about them. No,
hold on.
No. Listen.
Let him finish because I'm about to get him, but let him finish.
Hold on.
Let him cook.
You bring him in and you say the offense is dysfunctional. Okay. If you think the offense is dysfunctional, you bring in a guy who just had 800-900 receiving yards, 10 or 12 touchdowns the year before, and all of a sudden he's terrible. All your receivers aren't playing good besides your rookie, Brian Thomas Jr., who you traded back 2 times, got 2 or 3 extra picks in this draft for, and he's the best wide receiver. He's the best wide receiver in our division. He's the best rookie wide receiver. He's top 5 in the NFL in his first season. You know, you got Tank Bigsby who exploded onto the scene and played really well this year with shitty blocking. You know, it's like that's literally the only thing really holding Balky back right now on offense is that the O-line's not good.
Yeah, because that is a staple on his resume. That is a stain and a blemish. Because one thing for certain, if there's one thing about it, 2 things for certain, Balky's going to ignore that offensive line. 9 out of 10 times.
I mean, if you think about it too, though. No, I'm just let me just make this point really quick. If you think about it too, though, you bring in these defensive guys and they play, okay, right. But then like it's kind of weird how they play. They play at a position, they don't play in the right spot. The coaches obviously were not on the same level with him. And like you're thinking like, okay, they're telling me this offensive line is fine. They just didn't play enough together. Do I think they're good enough? No, I'm going to bring in Mitch Morse, and that's what they're telling me is the only issue on this line. So he brings in Mitch Morse. He does what the coaching staff wants, and then they come in and they underperform. They we want Cam gone. I mean, Balky clearly saw that Cam was a liability at this point. Now, do I think that was the right move? Absolutely not. I think Peterson and his staff just would not work with him. Now, again, do I think Balky's great? Absolutely not. There's many other GM candidates I would love to bring in and have and just start completely over. But I do not. I think Doug Peterson did exactly what he did in Philly. He let his pride get in the way, and he just couldn't be told what to do. He had to be in control. And then I guarantee you this was a mutual parting, just like in Philly. You know, it's like it's just stupid.
Well, to find out that Shad talked to him weeks ago for a lengthy amount of time.
Right.
And that they were discussing this. One thing you pointed out, though, that was really good is like, I bring this guy in and he underperforms because our scheme doesn't fit him. That's also, I got to say, in the same turn, that's kind of a knock on Balky because it's not the scheme necessarily that held Gabe Davis back. Gabe Davis just couldn't catch for shit. We know that. I understand you're playing devil's advocate at the same time. I mean, I get that. You know,
well, wasn't
like
scheme,
say, for instance, I don't know, because if you hit him in the face mask with a football, he's supposed to catch that shit, and he dropped 20 of them.
I'm about to say, scheme has nothing to do with you
scheme don't make you have trash-ass garbage hands.
No, I know what you're saying.
That's not his worst. That's not his that's not his biggest shortcoming.
Did we not sit here all year long and talk about how terrible the offensive scheme was?
Oh yeah,
and
it's
how
absolutely
it didn't work
terrible
for anybody. Like Gabe Davis, he's not like he's not going to run the prettiest route and beat you like that. Now, again, the catching's on him. Absolutely, I'm not saying it's not. Right. He had a catching problem in Buffalo, but like he made all his money running like once the play breaks down, getting open for Josh Allen. How much did we see that this year? Yeah, we didn't have enough time for the play to break down. We didn't have enough time for him to run. We brought him in to be the X, and then now he's the third wide receiver. It's just like there's so much that I can say, but of course, Gabe Davis, you have to catch football if it hits you in the hands, dude. Yeah. There's no question about that. But I'm just saying, like,
a point though.
I just think that I just think that the offensive coordinator and the staff on offense, Doug Peterson, like that I guarantee you, we never get the real answer though of who called plays all season, if it was really Press Taylor. And
honestly, I don't think it was Doug Peterson calling it. I think it was Press.
You think it was the whole time?
Press called it all the way. I think Press called it all the way until Mac's first 2 weeks.
You think
I'm not
so?
gonna lie to you. I think the first 2 weeks Mac was in, it was absolutely Doug. Those 2 first games that Mac started, that had Doug Peterson fucking written all over it in big bolstering all fucking caps. But I will say though, the last few weeks when it was nail in the coffin, we are fucked. It was absolutely Press Taylor calling, 100%.
Yeah. Because, listening to that press conference, he said something that I think we all forgot about throughout the season, and that was Doug Peterson reported directly to Shad Khan. He didn't report to Balky. You see what I'm saying? So basically what Shad was saying was, hey, we talked all year about what's going on. So, I mean, it was on the wall. I told you before, I would think you would call plays, being that your job is the one that's on the line, and apparently that's not what happened. So he really left him no choice.
I like what Shad said though.
But because if you look at like you mentioned earlier, Trevor, if you look at the draft, the players that has been drafted since Balky been here, man, that's enough to say, okay, you deserve another year. Your contract is over next year. Hey, we let it ride until then. Doug, I mean, Sean started calling out statistics, man. I
Sean
mean,
did. He did.
When your owner starts doing that and saying this just wasn't good enough and we lack this and we lack that, yeah, the coaching staff is going to be the first to go.
Yeah, an owner that doesn't know what he's talking about most of the time when it
Pull
comes
in
to
numbers,
football.
yeah.
For him, clearly he's been sitting with somebody talking with them about this,
right?
And I mean,
yeah, bro came with receipts.
to that point. When it comes to the draft, I saw something, and some people are just idiots, and we know that. But like somebody, and they're like, they said something about Trent Baalke and blah, blah, blah. And then the guy was like, oh, well, only 9 of his 38 draft picks are actually like good starters and stuff like that. And I'm like, how many draft picks have we had in the 4th round or later? The 5th round or later, let alone probably, I mean, I would say at least 20 to 25 of those picks are probably 5th round or later.
Yeah, he does have a lot of late draft picks.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sitting here looking at him. Yeah, he got a whole hell of a lot of them.
All the first rounders have started.
Yeah,
the second rounders have started until Mason Smith, but he's playing in the second round. Brenton Strange should have been starting, but we got a shitty coaching staff. Not starting, but he should have been getting more reps. Is what I mean. For sure. Yes. You know that, like, I mean, he comes in, and I mean, I'm not going to say we didn't miss a beat without Evan Ingram. Of course, we missed a beat without Evan Ingram. But I mean, Brenton Strange is catching some good fucking balls out there, dude.
Brenton Strange is a dog. There's no understating that. Yeah, he's a dog. Yeah. And he even said, Brenton Strange even said we need better leadership. Did you see that, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, and that's how you know some shit's really fucked up. You got a second stringer bold enough to stand in front of the camera and say, our leadership is bad. Like,
look, every draft choice from last year, except for Javon Foster,
has played meaningful reps.
Played, yes.
The only one that didn't down the only, I mean,
well,
he was injured the whole year, but he got in.
He got in, yeah.
Yeah, but also too, like the only one that didn't play meaningful reps, quote unquote, he still played meaningful reps, but the only one that didn't play a lot at the end of the season was Jordan Jefferson, because he got hurt and he got hurt, but he did play a lot in the beginning of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
But so I'm just saying, from everybody that was drafted last year, Javon Foster was the only one that didn't get in during the regular season.
Yep.
He was the only one.
I gotta ask you guys this. Like,
what's that?
I feel like this is how Baalke always slides by. The same shit he did in San Francisco and the same thing he's doing now. He puts just enough, like, it's kind of like sleight of hand, right? So, like, look right here. I've got these players that are good, right? We're talking about Jordan Jefferson, Mason Smith. Mm-hmm. But, like, we forget the fact that, don't get me wrong, did he get lucky with the fact that they are – I don't even think he got lucky. I think they're just big, really, and Mason Smith is a fucking mountain of a kid or a man, whatever. They were injured when we got him. He's still known for drafting people that are fucking projects. We talked about this the other week. Right. Like, he's always fucking gambling. I know it's always a gamble on a pick, but there's definitely some that are less of a gamble than others. And it seems like we always take the biggest risk. It's like, oh, you were hurt 2 years ago before you had an all-pro season, but you tore your fucking knee up and you have a full fucking synthetic knee now? Perfect. Come here. Like, that seems like that's always the Baalke thing to do. And the same thing with, like, true. Ronald Darby. No, I don't give a fuck if your coaching staff told you they needed Ronald Darby to survive. Nothing on tape should have told you that was a suitable replacement for Darius Williams. Nothing on tape should have told you that. And as a general manager, I expect you to be at least somewhat sound enough in the mind to say, look, I'm willing to help you and I'm willing to work with you, but there are certain things I'm not willing to do, and that's throw away the house's money on trash. Okay? I mean, I know we watched some highlight tapes of Ronald Darby years ago, but it was clear he was out of his prime. Darius Williams was our biggest playmaker last year. Why the fuck did you let anyone convince you to let him walk and replace him with Darby? That was ridiculous. And I think that's another thing. It's like that sleight of hand. It's easy to sit here and think about the good parts he hit on, because, yes, he hit on some. But we also talked about this before, too, where how many of those picks were fucking give-me's? Trevor Lawrence, that was a fucking gimme. Gimme. That was, I mean, he didn't even have to make the pick. Pick was made for him. Didn't matter who got the first pick. It was Trevor Lawrence.
True.
Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker turned out good, and I know we're giving him that as a plus in his column right now, but at the same time, that really should have been Aiden Hutchinson, and any other GM in the league would have made that decision 10 out of 10 times. So at the same time, we give him a plus in that column right this second, thinking about Trayvon because we love him. He has developed well. That's still technically a negative. That's still really, we could have had one of the most dominant DNs to come out of the draft in a long time. But no, instead we've got somebody that has to have Josh Allen to make pressure. Because we saw what he did this past week without Josh Allen over there, and it wasn't fucking shit. He didn't do nothing. If all they got to do is worry about Trayvon ain't doing nothing. And that's not his fault, but it's not only his fault. It's still partially his fault. But still, we noticed what it was like when without Josh to match the other side, when all they got to do was worry about Trayvon in the interior, Trayvon ain't getting nothing done. Not a damn thing.
Who was even playing opposite of him? I didn't watch the fucking game, to be honest.
Gaziano played opposite of him, and they switched a couple people, but and then they even Abdullah, and they put him at Josh Allen's side too a couple times. They put Trayvon on Josh's side, just to try to generate some pressure, get him moving a little bit because he was not getting nothing. He was not moving shit. But so even though as much as I'd like to say, yeah, let's count him as a positive, really he wasn't because we could have had the most dominant to come out of that draft and we don't.
Did we ever hear what happened to Josh Allen?
No. It's
personal reasons.
That's all I heard.
Yeah.
That's all we were told. Yep. And we're still, now don't get me wrong. Do I understand that the coaching staff reported directly to Shad? Yes. But where is it as a general manager? Do you sit back and say, I drafted this defensive tackle who's been one of the best in his position for years now, and they're just putting him at edge. Where is it as a general manager? Your fucking responsibility to do something about it.
Well, you can't.
Like, no, I mean, go to the owner, make the point, make the case, say something.
I mean, but here's the thing, though, Trevor. Let me ask you something. What did Shad Khan say about play calling before the season?
That if he was Doug Peterson, he would do it. He would be the one calling.
So Shad Khan told Doug, I guarantee you he told Doug Peterson, hey, I want you calling plays.
Yeah.
Did he do it? No. Doug Peterson did what the fuck he wanted.
And I agree with that. I can see where you're going with that. That makes sense. Okay, so then we'll scratch that point. We'll just take that point and throw it, right? Let's just say that that's what happened. We'll watch that, right? You talk about the fact that, like, Brian Thomas Jr., we've talked about this the other week. He gets a huge plus because Brian Thomas Jr. has been so fucking good, but he tried to fuck that up. He did. We talked about that. He tried to fuck that up. I mean, honestly, he tried to trade up and he got denied. He tried to sign Ridley. Ridley didn't take it. And if we would have gotten Ridley, he's already said we wouldn't have Brian. He tried to fuck that up. 100%. I mean, honestly, I think the only reason we got Brian is because Malik and Odunze and Harrison were already gone. That's the only reason we got Brian. And Brian's been miles better than all of them.
You're right.
He didn't do that on purpose. That's not Balky just having this all fucking seeing masterful foresight. He fucked his way into a good position for once. Every dog has his day. That's what that was. I mean, literally. I mean, he tried to get the three worst ones before him and got lucky that Brian was as good as he was.
Yeah, but that's hindsight, Trevor. But if you go back and look at the draft picks, though, whether they just fell to him or they were a no-brainer, he still brought them in.
That ain't got nothing to do with the fact that he was willing to pay Calvin Ridley $90+ million.
Hey,
he was willing to do that.
A lot of teams were apparently.
I know, but that don't make them all. That makes them all stupid.
Look,
I don't care.
Doug. I mean, not Doug. Look, Shard said something else that made a lot of sense, and he said, "Look, you got all the resources you ever need. Okay, you got plenty of salary cap room. I mean, what's stopping you from coming here? What's stopping? Just like they actually asked him, what if somebody came in and said, well, I want my own GM or I want so and so, and Shad was straight up. He said, how's that gonna make us better? If you can show me how that would make us better, then
we'll do it.
We'll do it.
Say that. And I like that. You're right. And he also said something else that was also very key to that. He said, I gave you all the things you have. Basically, he said, you got all the tools in your toolbox, but we're the most predictable team on both sides of the ball.
Right.
I love that he said that.
Yes.
I love that he said that because he's not. That's the worst fucking problem with this team right now.
Exactly.
Everybody knew what we were doing before we even knew what we were doing. and he's absolutely right. But he also said, like I said, he brought up he brought that up, and he goes on to say that like I said, he's like, we've got both sides of the ball. We don't have anything moving. Nothing's going right. Doug Peterson's reporting to me. Trent Baalke's reporting to me. And then everybody's claiming they're in unison. And he's like, so we're all going to take this as a collective, right? It's all our fault as a collective. He's like, but we got to do something to get better. And when we go from 22nd in defense to 32nd, we've got way worse than we were the year before.
Yes.
So clearly coaching is where we need to go first. And he did say, like Eric said, he said, when you look at the things that Baalke has done, he's like, the body of work. He did say the cornerstone players we have to build around. Now, do I think he's given too much credit on that part? Absolutely, because a lot of those picks are not Baalke being smart. A lot of those are just give-me's, and some of those he tried to fuck up a wet dream. But still, okay, whatever. He still gets to check him on his resume because he still drafted him. Whatever. Okay, so we'll just say he gets that. And then you look at the cap space. We have $43 or $48 million next year in cap space. And we have been better about re-signing key players. We have talked about that. That was a knock on this franchise for years, is we never fucking signed anybody.
Right.
Anybody that made a difference, we always let them walk. He hasn't been doing that. And he has been getting some pretty good contracts out of people. We've talked about that. Now, we've given him credit for that all year long.
True.
All year long, he's had good contracts. And then on top of that, he said you got the cap space, and then you look at the amount of draft picks we have. Plus, I mean, we've got everything. He said we got everything. He said we know what we have to offer. That being said, though, he like Eric said, he was still open to the idea. And I didn't get to hear the part of what Mia O'Brien said yet, but I did take a screenshot of where someone reported on what Mia said today. And that was something that I wanted to talk about because I think what she had to say hit a little bit harder.
She asked some nice questions today. She asked some nice questions.
Yeah, welcome back, Mia O'Brien.
Yeah, she asked some nice questions today. And somebody else, another reporter asked her.
Clearly, hockey wasn't her thing.
I guess not. But you know what? Once you listen to Sean talk, and you understand his thought now, his thought process. You know, hey, look. We brought in this guy. You said he was going to be better for our defense. You know, we fired the whole defensive staff from last year, and we didn't get any better. We actually got worse. We brought in, Darby, who's supposed to be out there starting, he can't cover his zone. He can't cover man-to-man. You brought Cisco down after a strong year last year, got him looking stupid back there trying to figure out, what is he supposed to do? And remember when we was watching film, fellas, and we was trying to figure out what the hell kind of defense they were in.
Yep.
One of the announcers Sunday, while I was watching the game, kind of explained it. And once I thought about it, I'm like, that's why we could never figure it out. Because what would be going on? And remember, we said they playing like they lost. One half of the defense will be playing something, and the other half is supposed to be playing something different.
Yep.
And when it actually goes in motion and the other offense is in action, it just looks stupid because everybody's out of place because nobody's understanding what they're supposed to be doing.
We're doing just that
simple. Yeah.
It's like we've said all year. We're doing too much.
Remember I said our linebackers were having recognition problems.
Mm-hmm.
See? Mm-hmm. And that's man. That explains a lot of it also. So you brought a guy in that was supposed to make the defense a little bit more simpler and better, and they made it actually more difficult and worse. So whoever idea was that to bring him in, and y'all need to apologize to that man because, he's out of a job now, pretty much. He's out.
Well, I will say that guy deserved to be out of a job anyway. But anyway,
you find it?
Baalke, I want to say this. Dilla made a good point. I want to shout out Dilla for this. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, if Baalke's picking, we're fucked." People don't understand this organization has always run different since Shad Khan bought it. It's always a two-headed tyrant. The GM does not hire the head coach. Baalke does. Balky's hiring the head coach directly himself. This will not be a Balky hire.
No, it will not be.
And for some reason, no, I cannot find it. I know that she grilled him, though. Essentially, she was like, to my understanding, I haven't got to see it yet, because I haven't finished the presser. It was like 30 minutes long. But to my understanding, she just said, why would you keep him? Pretty much like, why would you keep him amidst everyone, literally anyone with a mouth telling you that you shouldn't? Is essentially the idea. And we just went over the many reasons that Shaw had listed, but one thing I saw today, guys, I want to point out, and I know that it's because Balky probably hasn't put out the interview requests yet, but I am still kind of scared about it. I'm not gonna lie. I think I sent it to you guys earlier about Ben Johnson's interviewing for the Patriots and the Bears head coaching jobs this week.
Yeah.
We were not mentioned among that list at all. But also, that came out at 11:46 a.m. I don't know what time the presser came out, but I would doubt that by that time.
They didn't do the presser till 2 o'clock.
Yeah, okay, then then they didn't even have the interview requests out yet. So,
okay, let's see. Jacksonville Jaguars 2025 coach odds. Ben Johnson Lions OC plus 500. Percentage 16.7. Liam
Cohen's
Coleman
also plus 500, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep. Cliff Kingsbury plus 650. Joe Brady 750. Aaron Glenn 800. Frank Smith 900. Who is this?
Frank Smith.
Dolphins OC.
Hell
Okay.
no.
Yeah. Anthony Weavers, Dolphins DC plus 1,000, and Kellen Moore plus 1,000, 9.1%. Yeah. So Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen, their percentage-wise, are the favorites. Yeah. Now you know how that goes too, because Vrabel, yeah, he's interviewing for the what you call it, Patriots thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sure Kraft is probably going to lean more toward Vrabel than I would think, because he is loyal to his former players. Now, I'm not going to say he actually going to do it, but yeah. So, and that's the one thing that makes it hard when you fire a coach, especially late in the year like this, because the people you want to talk to are so hot that you're not the only one talking to them. And if they're still in the playoffs, like now, the only reason why Ben Johnson can talk to somebody because Detroit has a bye. They got the first round bye. Yep. So he can squeeze in as many as he wants to, as long as Detroit allows him to. That's the only thing about that. But you have the Rooney Rule also. So
the Rooney Rule, yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, so you just can't go out and hire, just say we got him, bring him on. You got to go through the routine first before anything happens. So who knows? I mean, who else besides? I know we got these hot names out there, but who's the underdog that's lurking that nobody is aware of? Who is it?
I don't know. I feel like this time I feel like because the writing's been on the wall for so long, I don't feel like we have any underdogs left. I feel like everyone that's a mainstream candidate, or not even just a mainstream candidate, I feel like anyone that's a serious candidate has already been named at this point and has already been discussed.
I've got one.
Who?
Byron Leftwich.
God damn it.
I think Byron Leftwich at this point is going to put his pride aside. And I think he'd be okay with working with Trent Baalke now. Only because I don't think anyone else took him seriously for a head coach position.
Yeah, that's true. He turned us down and got nothing.
And also, too, because Trent Baalke's contract's up next year.
Yes.
Yep. There is a chance that he could come in, decide, okay, he's going to tell Shad, okay, I will coach with Baalke for 1 year. That's the big thing, too. If we have another bad year next year and it seems like personnel is an issue, Shad Khan is not going to fire a coach after one season if they're not kicking kickers, calling them dipshits, and fingering girls in bars, staying behind with the team. He's not going to fire a coach year one. So
Why would you? Why would you? When
we're paying,
you've done everything. You took care of the defensive thing the year before, right? 2 years later, you fire the head coach and the whole staff. Now it's only one person to blame after that.
It's only one person.
There's two people to blame, and he ain't gonna fire himself.
Because people too are like, oh, this is the second head coach. Like Balky had nothing to do with Urban Meyer. That motherfucker was getting fired no matter what. You can't be doing what he was doing. There's absolutely Balky had nothing to do with that. The team being bad, we were in a complete rebuild at that point. Like that was not on Balky. This one though, yeah. But I mean, if you're Ben Johnson, you're Liam Cohen, you're Byron Leftwich, you're Kellen Moore, whoever you are,
he's only here for
and you heard that press conference. And that press conference, what they said was, if you can find somebody better, I'll bring him in. We'll do that. Okay. Balky's got a year left on his contract because you're not a head coach, and like you're not a head coach you're not a guy going for a head coaching position unless you have done the research and you know how long that GM is going to be there, especially if you don't like him.
Absolutely.
I think with the salary cap, with the draft capital, with the players, you take a chance on Jacksonville and you hope you can convince Balky in year 2 to get rid of him. Or no, I'm sorry, Shad Khan to get rid of Balky and bring in your guy if you have another down year or it's just not working out.
I feel like even then, though, to be honest with you, if Ben Johnson does take the interview, which I pray to God he does, because we've been told forever that he really wants it. Mark Brunell apparently has told people at 1010XL already that if the job became available, Ben Johnson really wanted it. He did say that. But I got to say, though, Sports Illustrated is already reporting, though, they won't tell us who, motherfuckers, but there's already a quote-unquote top candidate for the job that has refused the job now, knowing that Balky's staying. But again, I want to point this out, though, okay? I think one of the things, if a head coach comes in there and just does any kind of fucking research on this team whatsoever and they bring receipts, it will not be hard to convince Shad to let him go the next year. Like, say, for instance, I'm going to read you guys a quote that I have. I made a note card a long time ago of quotes from the coaching staff and the GMs, like even before we did the show, of shit that just pissed me off that I could look back on and be like, please tell me this isn't still real. Trent Baalke, when we drafted Trayvon Walker, did anybody remember what he said?
No, what did he say?
If we're picking in the top 10 again, it wouldn't be me because I'd get fired.
Ah. Well,
it is you. Again. You're still fucking trash. Again. It's just, honestly, at this point, if any head coaching candidate, and I think people that are smart like Joe Brady, Ben Johnson, all those people, like those guys, they're going to do the research. And that being said, I think they come in with a book full of receipts. And I think I do believe Shad's dead serious about if you can show me why, I'll do it.
He is.
I think he's dead fucking serious about that.
He's dead serious. Yes, he is.
I think it was Ben Johnson that said that. And let me tell you why. Because what did Ben Johnson say he wanted to go to a losing franchise? He said he wanted ownership to recognize where they were wrong and fix it. And for somebody to say to change direction, you actually have to change direction. And keeping Trent Baalke is not doing that. Like that tells me that's probably him because he said a lot of promise, but the same roadblocks. Again, will he still take an interview? Maybe. Can he convince Shad Khan to get rid of Baalke? Maybe. But like if you're Shad Khan, I mean, there's clearly one candidate that stands above the rest, and it's him. It's Ben Johnson.
Absolutely.
Liam Cohen, I think he's a close second, but he's not super close. I mean, I still think Ben Johnson's the top dog, but I'm not going to be upset if we get Liam Cohen instead of Ben Johnson. I'm going to be upset if we get Liam Cohen instead of Ben Johnson because Trent Baalke was there.
That part.
My thing is, like, it's got to be him. I don't know of any other head coaching candidate that's going to come out and say that. That's been there's no one else been talking about change organizational. They have to admit it. Now, do I think that Shad Khan got really read up on the numbers? When did that quote come out?
What quote specifically? The Sports Illustrated one?
The one about
to change direction. Yeah, I think that was this morning. I don't know an exact time that was released. That was Sports Illustrated.
Because my thing is, if it was before, because Shad may have all had all that prepared, but maybe Shad's doing damage control because that quote came out and he also thinks it's from Ben Johnson. And he's trying to act like he knows what was happening and he's going to try and change it. But, we can still bring you in and we can do it together. Like, that makes me think that some of that, him being really read up and know what he's talking about and all that, might be a show. Now, he might actually know. He may have been sitting there, like we said before, and actually been paying attention this season. I don't know. But I could also see that be media training damage control because Ben Johnson or whoever the top candidate was came out and said, oh, well, that's not changing direction. I don't like that.
Yeah, and I think he was talking straight to Ben Johnson, if I'm being honest. I think that's exactly who the fuck he was talking to. I think that's who Shad was talking to the whole time. Because Shad, even when Shad said things like, again, if you come in and you can show me, why, I'm willing to do whatever we need to do to get better. And he said that multiple times. But he also sternly defended Balky to like simple media questions. But he did make sure to always circle back and say something like that. I feel like you're absolutely right. I think he knows that was someone like Ben Johnson. It was probably Ben Johnson specifically that said that. And that being said, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like if Ben Johnson went through the trouble to saying it to someone at Sports Illustrated to quote him, but leave him anonymous, he wanted Shad to see it, which means he's really interested in the job. Because I feel like if he really didn't want the job, he'd just come out and say, no, I'm not taking that because they're still willing to keep him in place. He would have no problem with not being anonymous. He wouldn't care. Because we already know Ben Johnson is not desperate. He doesn't care. He will stay right where he's at in Detroit. He does not care. He's got a life made there too. Okay, so the only reason I could see him wanting to be anonymous is to get the word to Shad without looking like a pushy dickhead to Shad. I think it's the only way. That's the only reason you do that. And in which case would line up with what Mark Brunell had to say in the words of he really wants the job.
Okay, Ben Johnson planning to meet with Bears, Patriots, no Jets interview expected. Okay, so the Bears, he got who? Caleb Williams over there. The Patriots, he got Drake May
and Joe Milton.
Yeah. Well, they gonna go with Drake May. So, yeah, and the draft, of course. So, I don't know.
I don't think there's any team between the three of them that has a better upside than we do. Because it's like Shad even pointed out, though, we're in a weaker division. He didn't say that, but he said, and the benefit is our division. And we know what that means. We know what that means. Our division sucks. We know what that means. Okay. So you don't got to come out here and be the fucking brightest fucking burning ball of fire to win the division. Okay.
Right.
We've got a better quarterback than Caleb Williams and Drake May.
True.
We got better running back duo. We've got a better wide receiving core. We're one DB away from a really good secondary core if we start Dewey instead of fucking Antonio Johnson. I think we've got all the pieces, the draft capital to do it. We've got the money to do it. We've got the facilities and the stadium of the future coming to do it. There's no upside like ours. I would agree with that. I mean, Shad's not wrong when he says we know what we bring to the table.
Right.
He's not wrong. Yeah. Because anybody with a brain knows that if you get a real coordinator that's willing to do something that's not fucking reused and recycled, Trevor Lawrence is going to be an absolute monster.
See, and that's one thing I do not want at all is to have a recycled Joker in here that's just gonna delay Trevor's growth. And yeah, think about it. This would be like the third head coach in 5 years for Trevor.
Yes.
All right. And you're talking about bringing a whole nother offensive coordinator in, another quarterback coach in. So it's like almost starting over all over again. But you're gonna hold him to the same standards from the day he was drafted, right? That he got to come in and be Superman, regardless of who's there. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's what was happening. Okay. And we're going to be all right with that. Hell no. We ain't going to be all right with that. As far as Balky, I give him his last year. hey, he's been hitting on some of these drafts, so let him be involved in the last draft. Hopefully, we get some more starters out of it, and at the end, don't renew it and bring in someone new. Hopefully, you let your coach be involved in that look. But which you never know with Shad. But I think from his presser, and yes, Trevor, I do believe that some of that was, just to shut the press up and get him off his back. But I think also I did hear the passion and the frustration also in his voice when he was talking about this team. He spent all this money, got the city involved, right?
Mhm.
Everybody hype, and now this is what we're doing. After I understood and said that this is the best roster the Jaguars have ever had, right? And then we come out and do this 4-13 or whatever, and then for him to say we had 10 one-score games that we lost, so he was watching just like the rest of us, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. What is going on?
Yeah, no, I agree. But that's scary to me. That's scary to me. And, this is why. If he's just like the rest of us, but he talks to these people every day, how the hell does he not know? That's what's scary to me. I feel like he does just enough research before it's time to go in front of the camera, which I appreciate that he even did that, because you have people like Jim Irsay who go out there and just talk fucking dumb shit. I mean, he could do that, but he doesn't. So I'll give him that credit. I'm happy he at least did some research and brought some receipts. But at the same time, how is it you're talking to both our general manager and our head coach? You should be one of the most knowledgeable owners in the league at that point, because most owners just go through their general manager. It's chain of command. They go through the general manager relays to the head coach. That's usually how it goes. I mean, sure, the owner will still talk to the head coach every now and then, but it's typically through general manager conversation. At this point in time, Shad, you're talking to both constantly. How the fuck do you not know? How do you not know? Why is everything such a question mark for you too? It doesn't make any sense to me. And all that just like ropes back in together to say, like, they asked him, they were like, who did you lean on when you believe, like, when they told you this was the best roster ever assembled? He said, oh, it was all of us. Oh, okay. Well, then why is Doug the only one that got fired? That's my thing.
Because Doug was the one on the field in charge of the coaches.
No, I get that. But as an owner, the general manager is just as responsible. And Balky said that out of his own mouth.
But
Balky said that out of his own mouth.
Yeah, you're right. But let's listen to what we said earlier in the show. We went and talked about the draft choices and the choices, whether they're a mistake, he tried to screw it up. They still ended up as producing on this team.
Yep.
Right? They did. So technically you can say Balky did his job. He got you the players. He re-signed the players. See what I'm saying? Now, what's going on the field, that's on the coaching staff and the players.
That's a fact.
Okay, so technically right now, as you say, he skated around that, and Shad was looking at it because he mentioned analytics, so what we should be doing compared to what we were doing. And that's why I said once I listened to the press conference, I understood more of his train of thought. I really do. I've given you everything you asked for.
Yeah.
Balky has given you the players, but yet the players aren't producing. We're losing close games that we should be winning.
And a lot of it's coaching. We pointed out so many times. And it's, honestly, it's like I said, I agree with you there. I think you couldn't say it better at this point. It's the longer you watch the presser, the more his point of view makes sense. It doesn't mean that I think he should still be here. I don't. I don't think he should still be here, because
I don't think anybody does, but he's here.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, because again, even though those players end up producing, I cannot unlearn the fact that he tried to fuck it up. That's scary. I cannot forget that he tried to fuck those things up and still fuck some of them up. Like Trayvon Walker, we counted as success. It's actually a fucking massive fail because we could have had one of the most dominant guys. Do we know that Aiden Hutchinson still leads the fucking Lions in sacks right now? By the way,
with
I'm just
7.
I don't know what it is total, but he got hurt pretty. He got hurt like week 7. Yeah, week 7 or something like that. Dude, he's only 2 sacks behind Josh Allen. Josh Allen only had 2 more sacks than he did the whole fucking season, and he's been out since like week 7 or 8.
Yeah, we talked about that last episode.
Yeah, I know. There's some games where people run into him. Yeah, I know. I don't even know if that happened this year. I know that happened last year.
It did. That's what I was saying. It happened 3 times in the game. He got 5 sacks in. Like 5 of his 7 sacks came in one game against the third string right tackle where Baker Mayfield ran into him 3 times.
Yeah, that's
like he's good. I'm not taking away from him, but like he's not nearly as good as they try and make him seem.
That's fair. But either way, we'll just look at the fact that like it is true. His point of view started to make more sense because like. Again, we started talking about the fact of who gives a shit who really decided Ronald Darby should be here. What matters is who the fuck decided he should have stayed on the field.
Now, see, that is
clearly Ryan Nielsen.
Yes.
Clearly Ryan Nielsen. Who the fuck decided to play fucking Eric Armstead at edge when Eric apparently said – now, also, I don't know if I believe Eric Armstead's little bitch ass either because that motherfucker came in at the beginning of the year and said he wanted to try that shit too. I remember he said that.
Okay.
So now he's sitting here saying he did that.
But who's to say once he got out there a couple of times that I need to be back inside.
Well, he said then that he wanted to do that all along. That's what he said today. He said today he wanted to play inside all along. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. The point of the matter is once it wasn't working out, if Eric wanted to go back to inside, why the hell did you not move him back?
Right.
You should have moved him back. And the same question goes for why the fuck is Monteric Brown still a cornerstone starter? He gets cooked at least twice a week.
Who else you gonna have?
I mean, cook pretty bad.
Who else you gonna have?
At this point, you can sign. I'd rather sign a free agent. At this point, I don't give a fuck. I'd rather bring somebody from the practice squad because at least when they get cooked, we got an excuse.
We just did that. Remember, his name was Darby.
No. I get that. Darby got cooked, so you make another choice. If your first choice doesn't work, you've got to try something else. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's a guaranteed win. It's not. But we got DeAndre Prince. I feel like with more snaps, DeAndre Prince would get a lot better. I feel like it's a lot. I feel like a lot with DeAndre Prince is a lot how I feel about Mason Smith. If they actually got reasonable, real snaps and a real snap count to get a rhythm going, they'd be a lot better off. The longer we saw DeAndre this past Sunday, the tighter coverage he got. He got better as the game went on as he settled into the game. The same thing with Mason Smith. The more snaps he gets, the more times he moves that offensive line just straight out the way.
Now, with you saying all that, right? You saying all that, all this falls into the coaching level.
Yep.
That's just
absolutely.
all that, Yeah. So if we're saying this, and we've been saying that about Darby and for a long time, what took them so long to make the change? When everything is over with, we no longer has a chance for anything. Now you want to make the changes.
No, I agree.
And when you could have simplified the defense from what you wanted it right now, realizing you didn't have the personnel, and made it more competitive. I mean, look at the Minnesota game. Minnesota game. I mean, you saw the potential during that game. You did.
Yep. The team is here.
Yeah.
The team is here. For sure.
Just falls apart. Yeah.
I think too is like you said, it's coaching. I'm not saying that the case for firing the coaches wasn't there because it's absolutely there. 110%. They all needed to be fired. Both coordinators and Doug, all of them gone. And our fucking strength and conditioning coach. That motherfucker needs to be fired too. All right, but anyway, that's another story.
I was thinking about that, man. I'm like, man, we should, because
we done got our ass whooped this year.
One of them said, it's not, we don't have a lot of soft tissue injuries. Yeah, but we got season-ending injuries.
Yeah, for real, man. Come on, man.
Come on now.
But anyway, like you said, man,
really,
it's just like you said. The coach for the call for firing of coaches, absolutely valid. I think another reason though that you need to send Balky out the door with him, when left to make a decision of his own. Why the fuck did we pay Walker Little? It's like we talked about him a few times already. Walker Little has done nothing to earn that contract. You give him a 1 year prove it, maybe. I could see that. We're moving on from Cam. We're going to give you this money for this year to pay you like a starter for 1 year. I want you to show me that you're worth it. You know what I mean? Because you've never been a starter. And every time we try to move you in a starting role, you get fucking destroyed most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. So show me that you can do it, and we'll give you a real contract. That's a Trent Baalke thing. Trent Baalke signs the contracts.
I'm pretty sure in the first 2 or 3 seasons, Walker Little, whenever he started, we were like 7-1. Like
yeah,
we won all the games he started in, and like he was actually really good.
Yeah, wasn't that when we were playing? Yeah, well, I was about to say what happened because we got moved away from it for a reason, and then we moved him away.
Right tackle, and then you don't let him play during the season. And the first game he plays is against the Eagles, who have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. Like, you know,
no, what I'm saying is you're right. You're right. But Baalke's watching all this at the same time, right? Hold on. Baalke's watching all that. And then you see Baalke lets him get moved around, right? Baalke's watching all this happen.
Right.
And then, okay, at the end of the day, whatever allowed them to convince Baalke that he shouldn't be playing then. Okay, so Baalke is of the same belief because Baalke said out of his own mouth today, even him and Doug were very even. They were on the same page. He said that today. Very loud and clear that him and Doug were on the same page. He just felt like they had different they had different ideas for where to go in certain areas. But they were on the same page. But it's like, okay, so how can you be on the same page? But it's like you said, Isaiah. It's like you had said. Honestly, we should have never pulled Walker Little from starting when he was doing good. That I agree with. But since we pulled him, he took a very sharp decline. Now, I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm not blaming him. I think he's like we've talked about at the beginning of this year. He's a classic example of ruining a fucking player and his potential. Because, again, if we would have left him getting those consistent snaps, I don't think he ever takes the decline. But regardless, he takes the decline. So regardless of how good he used to do, this is what we got in him now. And he had to start for us last year in the absence of Cam when he got hurt, in the absence before we pulled in Ezra Cleveland, and he got fucked up a lot. So then you see that.
No. Hold on. Walker Little was the number 7 tackle in the NFL before Cam Robinson came back from his suspension. 4 games in, Walker Little was the number 7 tackle in the National Football League in pass blocker rating. Number 7. He was number 7. And then
I was gonna say that's not a complete stat, though. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying all the way around.
But he's number 7. Okay, Cam Robinson comes in and Trevor starts getting sacked again. You pull a kid when he's playing well. Walker Little's dad said it. You know, he said it the best. When you have the kid in, that we win. You pull him.
That's fair.
You put him at left guard. He gets hurt at left guard with a lower body injury. You stick him back in as soon as he's healthy because Cam goes down. And Trevor gets hurt in that Bengals game. Like, I'm not saying that Walker Little's some all-time great, but I'm just saying, like, he played really well when we have given him the reins,
right?
Except for some games this year. And again, you don't trust him, and then all of a sudden now you do. And you throw him in against one of the best pass rushes in the league. All this, like, again,
that's exactly my point.
You said it right though. We definitely are ruining him, but I mean, I'm sure he gave up less sacks than fucking Cam Robinson.
Oh, probably so. Either way, the point of the matter is like we're still talking about the fact of no matter what the reason is, whether it's Walker's fault, whether it's coaching staff's fault, it's coaching staff's fault. We know that. But regardless, no matter what the fault is, we saw what he has become, and regardless, what he was putting on tape even this year when Cam was hurt the first few games of this year, because Cam got hurt the first couple games of this year too. So he wasn't just gone. And we saw what he did at the beginning of the year. Look, I'm not saying that you don't give him the 1 year. You give him the year. I think I think anybody with a brain sees a reason to give him a full season and say, hey, we want you to show it to us. We think you can do it. We believe in you, but I'm not going to give you a 3-year contract extension and pay you like a starting tackle. I want you to show me you still got it. Now, whether that's my fault that we ever took you from it, I get it. That's my whole point to say, though, that Baalke, that's a knock on Baalke.
Now, I was about to go there. And say that now that you can put on Baalke because he beyond that, he has never really addressed the offensive line.
Okay.
That has never been addressed.
What do you think Walker Little, how many sacks and pressures do you think he gave up this season?
To be completely honest with you, I have no fucking idea, dude.
No, just guess.
About three sacks.
No, I'd say probably
about
three or four sacks. We'd probably get like 10 to 12 pressures.
So he had 2 sacks on the season.
Right.
He allowed 5 QB hits, 13 total pressures.
Okay.
I don't think some of those
508 snaps.
I don't think some of those are accurate. I'm gonna be real with you. I think
hold on. Tell me how many sacks you think Cam Robinson allowed on the season and how many pressures?
No, I know Cam Robinson was ass. I ain't say Cam Robinson was worth the money either.
No, hold on. He had double the snaps. I'll give you that. But just let me. How many sacks do you think Cam Robinson gave up? How many pressures?
12. He probably gave up 8 sacks, 15 to 16 pressures.
7 sacks.
7 sacks. Okay.
52 pressures.
Jesus
Cam Robinson
Christ.
was ranked. Cam Robinson was ranked 127 in sacks allowed and 140 in pressures.
See, that's my point though. See, Cam Robinson was ass, and I agree. But that's another knock to the point of what I was making about Balky. If Cam has been putting these numbers up for a couple of years, which he has, he's been this bad for a couple of years. He didn't just regress this year into being trash. Okay. Walker Little should have never came out when he was winning. I get that. Now I understand that. But that's another Balky move there. Balky paid the fucker. Balky paid him too. So that's still Balky. No matter what way you look at it, whether or not we couldn't get rid of Cam and that's the reason we had to start him over Walker, or whether or not it was just ignorance is the reason we wouldn't let Walker keep playing when he had the hot hand, that's still on him.
That's on Balky. That's on Balky. And that's what I'm saying. I would say it's on Balky and it's also on Doug because they never addressed the offensive line. They did that one Mitch Morris. That's it.
No, Anton. Anton is where they tried to address it. They band-aided the line with Mitch Morris.
That's true.
That's a band-aid. They addressed it once with Anton. And to be honest with you, again, this is another knock on Balky. I don't give a fuck who in the fuck is telling you that this offensive line is fine. You're a fucking moron if you believe it. No. This offensive line can't run block for shit. And I don't care that the sacks aren't getting home. Our quarterbacks are getting hit in their face mask almost every time they drop back. I don't care whether the pressures are recording. This is one of those moments where if you watch the box score, it's going to show up different than the game tape does. Because, again, I can tell you right now, I'm not trying to, knock on Walker Little, but I have watched him get beat way more than any 7 times. Well, now, whether they count it as a pressure or not, hey, that's whatever. But the point of the matter is he's not the only one. It's not just him. This whole offensive line needs work. The whole damn thing. Okay? Brandon Scherf. No. Brandon Scherf's been getting cooked for 2 years straight. Straight fried.
Well, look. Let's be honest. When your backs can't pick up a blitz to save their lives, okay, the offensive line can't pick up a blitz because apparently they don't see them coming or they disguised, however they want to say it. And the coaches don't do anything to fix it.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Well, that's my point about Balky though, right? Again, if I'm sitting here as a GM and I'm watching this team, I'm sitting here as a couch GM right now, and I'm watching all these games right now, and I can tell you right now, this offensive line is abysmal.
Right.
Everybody in the league screams this offensive line sucks, but for some reason, Balky's just like, nope, my coaches told me they were fine. They're fine. No, you're a dumbass. You got to be a dumbass at that point. Ignorance. It's absolute ignorance. Because again, you can't blame it on any one guy. I think that I do believe that Anton would be better with a better guard beside him. I think Scherf has just aged out of his prime, obviously.
Yeah.
Mitch Morse was nothing more than a Band-Aid, but he's been really solid, I think. Ezra Cleveland.
From Luke Fortin, of course.
Yeah, of course he has, yeah. But Ezra Cleveland, not been terrible. Hasn't been great. Hasn't been terrible. Walker Little, an improvement from Cam Cam all day.
If we can keep them healthy, yeah. And that's the other thing. We have more damn injuries on our offensive line and have to,
we really started getting banged up on the line midway through the season, but that was after we lost Cam. When we got rid of Cam, that's when we really started taking injuries to the line. But still, I mean, regardless, even when they all played, even when all of our new starting line played, they can't pick up a blitz. They can't.
They
can't. And if a defense stunts them, Jesus Christ, they are fried. If a defense pulls a stunt, they're fucked. They don't know how to deal with that. They don't know. Like, again, I don't even know if our backs can't pick up a blitz because I don't think they're ever given the opportunity to be honest with you. As soon as the ball snaps, they're looking for the hole to hit, and it's just never there. And then our backs try to go horizontal to try to extend the play, and then they lose 5 yards because our tackles can't set the edge either. So either way you look at it, this offensive line is not productive. Now, again, it doesn't matter what one player you put it on. At the end of the day, the GM, it's your job to build a better roster. Our offensive line has been hot like trash for like 4 or 5 years now, dude.
Yeah, but and here's the other thing, though. The play calling doesn't do anything to help them either.
Absolutely
it really
not.
doesn't.
No, it doesn't. You're right. Like, again, like, why is it we know our offensive line can't run block and we're still wasting first down every series almost? It's trash. It's trash. But again, you're right. That's a two-headed problem. Coaching absolutely needed to go. Absolutely needed to go. Like calling a timeout at 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What the fuck is wrong with you? You moron. The 2-minute warning is 10 seconds away, bro. What in the fuck? Like, those 10 seconds didn't save you shit. All they did was waste a timeout that we actually ended up needing and cost us the game. But whatever. Coaching definitely needed to go. That's absolute fact. Certified.
So Certified. I think Shaw just looked at the whole thing and said, okay, right now, this is the bigger issue than the GM. It's the coaching, the players on the field. So as I said before, let's go on and redo this. Like you said, you know, you don't want to throw the whole baby in the bathwater or some kind of thing. He said, I forgot.
He said that, yeah.
Throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, throw the baby out with the bathwater. So
yeah, because they said he wanted to split the baby.
I mean, if Bulky's really safe, don't you think Shad Khan would have extended him?
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think he's safe.
That's a good point.
I'm saying, like, a lot of people are talking about how Bulky's like they're never going to get rid of him. Oh, this, that. Like, if Bulky was truly safe, he has 1 year left on his deal. If him and Shad Khan are so buddy and gay lovers and best friends and whatever y'all want to say out there in the Jaguars community, if he's really that safe, don't you think Shad Khan would have extended him with 1 season left?
Don't you think asked him about that specifically?
Yeah,
they asked him that.
Yeah, and Shad made it clear that to everyone that he had 1 year left on his contract. He made that clear.
Like and with Bulky there too, right? Bulky was in that press conference.
Yeah,
you really think he's saying that in front of Bulky if he's not already had the conversation with Trent? Hey, this is your last fucking season if you don't do some shit, buddy. If y'all don't fucking get us back to the playoffs, do that. Because he even said, they even asked him, how far out do you think? What's the rebuild? He said, no, we're ready now. This is a 1 season turnaround. Like, we're ready now.
Yeah, like, he even said that. He made it clear that there was no. People kept saying rebuild or like a fresh slate and all that stuff or a complete clean house. And he just kept saying, what does that even mean? His exact words were, that's shooting yourself in the foot to think that I have 85 people and that I can replace all 85 with better people is shooting myself in the foot.
Yes,
he's right about that. He's right about that.
He did say that, yeah.
Because I mean, the big thing there is he's a businessman. Okay,
absolutely.
Nobody's questioning his ability to be a businessman. He's making money off of this team, whether we lose 17 games or we win 17 games, or whether we win 10 games, or whether we lose 5 games, whatever it is, he's making money. Do you really think that he wants to go through, fire everyone, every single person under him that coaches football, every single position? And he wants to bring in a new guy and just say, all right, here's 84 other positions. Go hire all of them. Probably not. No, probably not. He's put a lot of money into this organization to just toss it out there and go, all right, 85 other guys, 84 other guys, go get them.
Yep. Right.
Again, I don't agree. I prefer that. But at the end of the day, and we've got a point, it's hard to do a complete clean house. Every single person is gone. Bring an entire new staff, trust them to do everything right. I mean, that's got to be one hell of a business pitch.
Fuck yeah, it does. Yeah, dude, like, hey, I'm going to have you come in here, and you're going to have full reign, but you better not fuck up. Like,
well, who do you hire first? Do you hire the GM or do you hire the head coach? Do you hire the GM and let him pick everybody, or do you hire the head coach and let the GM pick, or let him pick a GM and then everybody else?
Usually, you hire the GM and let the GM find the coach for you. That's usually the way it works.
Yeah, but the way the league's trending
if they're
now,
gonna
you hire the head coach and let them pick the GM because head coaches want to bring their guy.
But my thing is, why would he do that? Because
exactly,
I mean, Shad Khan's they're both going to report directly to Shad Khan anyway. So why would he let one hire the other?
Hey, it doesn't matter.
It's like that's my thing. It's a terrible structure. I hate it. Honestly, I hate the direct report to the owner for the head coach. It's because like my thing is, if you want them to work together and be in step with each other, that's the thing about the Lions organization. I guarantee you, down to the janitors, they are in step as an organization, and no one ever causes any waves over there.
No, but they can't with the way they play.
No, they can't with the way they play. I mean, they just went out there and decimated the Vikings with backups. They have 20-something players, 20-something starters not playing right now. And they killed the fucking Vikings. Killed them. You can't play like that unless you have an organization from top to bottom that is ready to go every single day, is all on the same page. Yep. Like, and then having the GM and the coach reporting separately, they're both going to dad. So
you're creating separation right off the rip. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep, that's turmoil straight from day one. And another thing, though, I will say, you pointed out like the contract.
Yes and no.
Well, hold on. I think it absolutely is. Mason Smith, perfect example. Perfect fucking example. Doug and them thought he was over pursuing. Balky felt he had a good draft pick, just needed more time, more playing time. Turns out Balky was right on that one. But again, that's exactly what happens. Look at that. Now they're both running to dad. They're both running to dad because you got a GM that believes that guy should be on the field, and you got a coaching staff that believes he shouldn't. That's running to dad. That's turmoil right there, right off the bat. You got a coaching staff that believes our quarterback should be playing. You got a GM that believes he's the man of the future. You got to rest him. That's turmoil right there. I mean, and I'm sure that Balky was probably screaming for some other things that they didn't want to do. Like, I guarantee you he was not happy with the use of Eric Armstead. I will say that. If there's one thing that I firmly believe that Balky would be on our side about, it's the misuse of Eric Armstead.
That's his boy.
That's his boy, and it made his boy look like absolute dog shit. I guarantee you he was pissed.
Even Armstead said, I will be the elite player next year that I know I am by playing inside.
And once again, why did it go on for so long then?
Well, the coaching. Exactly. But they did ask Shad today, though. You know, they said, do you plan on giving Balky an extension? I feel like if he was 100% sold on Balky, he would have told them that they are working on it. What he said exactly was, that's not relevant to what we're talking about.
And it's not.
It's not.
He's right. He's right. But that's the point is, I don't think people know how to read between the lines and take the Blues Clues there. Okay? That's businessman talk for, that's not what the fuck I'm worried about. And again, if you're a businessman, if you're really sold on someone, or if your belief is set in someone, he would extend him right now. Absolutely. They'd be talking about extensions right now because both of them are morbidly aware that this is his last year on his contract. Balky's morbidly aware, and of course, Shad's well aware.
Right.
So that being said, that would not have been something that just got shoved out of this press conference. Because technically, I'm going to be honest with you, I believe, honestly, it did kind of have something to do with it because a lot of the questions were about why was Balky still here? And then that question would also relate to, well, how much longer do you plan on him being here? You know?
Right.
I mean, it is kind of a relevant question. And for him to kind of throw it out of the window, I think that shows his lack of committance. Sorry. His lack of ability to commit to Balky long term. And that is that's media training for, I'm not re-signing this motherfucker right now, which means he's not sold on him either.
Right.
That's the same way that Balky won't commit to Ingram or Kirk until we have a new head coach.
Right.
That means but you know what? That's kind of scary though. That means Balky's not sold on Ingram and Kirk. Now Kirk I kind of understand, but Ingram, motherfucker, Ingram.
You know,
Ingram, bro.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Your talent evaluation skills are fucking booty cheeks, straight ass juice, dude.
I mean, man. Oh man, think about it.
You said Balky said he wasn't sold on Ingram?
He didn't say those words specifically. I don't remember the exact question. I had to go back and watch it again. but they pretty much asked about Ingram and Kirk, and he was non-committal to either one of them. He wouldn't commit to either one of them until they have a new head coach.
Well, the train of thought is you get rid of them and save some money for the salary cap with the emergence of Britton Strange and
Parker Washington.
I agree. I agree with that. I think that's where he's going. But don't get me wrong, though. Do I think Britton Strange is a hell of a player? But I don't think he's an Evan Ingram by any stretch.
No, not yet. Anyway,
and I think even Isaiah said that best earlier. Yeah, he's not there yet. I think now Parker Washington's there. Parker Washington is ready to take Kirk's role, I believe.
So already we're trying to get rid of weapons. Just why? Why are we getting rid of weapons?
Kirk's contract is up, isn't it?
Yeah. Kirk needs to be re-signed.
Is Kirk contract up?
Yeah, Kirk contract's up because we got him in 2021, right? Or no, 2022. We signed him to a 3-year deal, so his contract's done. So we either we'd have to re-sign him, or we'd have to believe in Parker Washington, or we got to be drafting somebody at number 5 that's a wide receiver.
No.
I'm just saying. Like I'm saying,
no,
if we don't sign Kirk,
yeah.
I'm saying if we don't sign Kirk, like we've either got to fully commit to Parker Washington, or we're taking somebody in the first round of wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Look,
absolutely,
and I understand. Yeah, we did, but man, come on now, come on.
No,
for the last three years, we've been bitching and griping about this damn offensive line.
I agree.
I'm you, all of us, same page.
We want a tackle right now.
Give me something here.
We're not getting attacked.
I know we're not getting.
I'm gonna just say that now.
Well, get a replacement for Sheriff or something. I mean, do something with the offensive line.
That's
we'll
what I'm
about
to,
third or fourth.
That's what I'm about to talk about. Second round, there is a chance Tyler Booker, guard from Alabama, will be there. Tyler Booker is one of the best guards, if not the best guard in this class. Now, this is a weaker O-line class. If he's sitting there, top of the round, sign T. Fuck no. I don't want T. Higgins' old ass.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins having contract issues right now.
He's been having contract issues.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
no. Yeah. Hey, real, what about Tyreek Hill though? Hold on.
Tyreek Hill is on the market.
He's gonna be.
Tyreek Hill has said he is done with the Dolphins. He is not coming back. Now, I wouldn't be upset with T. Higgins. I'll be 100% honest. I wouldn't be upset with T. Higgins. He's not my first choice. But if we could get him on a good deal, but I think T. Higgins wants to be paid like a number 1. I don't think T. Higgins wants to be.
I'm like, damn, T. Higgins on one side and BTJ on the other though. Oh Lord.
That's what I'm thinking about. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, and this kind of this plays into draft talk too, though. Every team you see that's got just a fucking bang ass offense, they've got 2 badass receivers.
That is true.
Not just one.
But you know who's coming out in the draft that we could get at number 5?
Who?
To Tyroa McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. 6'5", 218 pounds. He's expected to run around a 4.5. And he's a little better on the routes than people give him credit for. That would be a younger Jamar Chase and T. Higgins combo. Now, I'm not saying right now that Brian Thomas Jr. is better or as good as currently as Jamar Chase. Do I think he could potentially get there? Potentially.
Yes.
Potentially. I don't think he will get as good as Jamar Chase. Now, that is me saying better. No, I'm just saying right now. I saw greatness out of him, but the big issue for me is, will Trevor Lawrence have enough time to get him the football all the time, like Jamar Chase does? Because if we just continue to negate the line, we continue to put them on the wayside, then I can't sit here and say he'll be better because I don't know that we'll have the opportunities to get him the football. Now, one thing that will be better, new coaching staff isn't going to wait until week 10 to start throwing the ball to him more than 10 times a game. They're going to throw it to him early and often.
I cannot wait to see Trevor Lawrence uncorking that bitch 40, 50 plus to BT like 15 times a game. It's not going to happen 15 times, I know, but I'm just saying. I cannot wait to see him. I just want him to take the reins off, dude. Like we talked about this. They never let Trevor throw deep downfield as much as they've let Mac Jones do it. And Mac throws a terrible deep ball, dude. Awful. Fucking atrocious deep ball.
Mac throws a pretty ball to the other team.
Yeah, his best throws are to other teams.
Yeah, to the other team. But yeah.
No, it's bad. It's bad to think because that's honest to God. And that's another thing that I was talking about is those are differences in play calling that I think are when you can tell the difference in play caller.
Right.
And that's how I think you can tell the difference between the two because they are very similar. Will Campbell needs to be our pick. He's an LT, but he can play guard. I like Will Campbell's attitude. I'm not gonna lie. I like what he said the other day.
Man, it's so hard for me to not want to take. So hard for me to not want to take Will Johnson, man. I know we need the better line. I know we need the line. But
yeah,
man, that would absolutely shore up our back end if we also got a good decent safety because this is actually a pretty good safety class this year. Corner class, it's okay. It's an okay corner class. There's a good bit of edges in this class. But man, I would love to get Will Johnson. But I would not be upset with taking Will Campbell. I just don't think he's worth the 5th overall pick. I think we need to trade back to get him.
Yeah, if we're getting him, we got to be a trade.
He's currently rated at about 15. Now, if he comes out and does 45 reps in the bench press or 40 plus reps, okay, let's move up and grab that motherfucker. But he's a guard. If we're getting him, we're putting him in guard, and we're not picking a guard number 5. It's just not happening. The only way we do that is if we took him when we either kicked Anton or kicked Walker Little in. There's no way we're taking him and at 5 and putting him at guard.
Why not?
Man, why would we?
Do it. Yeah, they're not going to do that with 5.
I get it.
Considering, I'm going to say though, the only mock draft pick that I fucking hate is Mason Graham. Not because I hate Mason Graham. He's a fucking monster. I love Mason Graham as a player. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that I guess I can't say hate, but I wouldn't be mad at seeing him, I guess. But I would much rather have a corner or a lineman or hell, even another receiver before we got Mason Graham. The reason I say even another receiver is because I want to see an elite receiving core for once. I want Trevor to have real weapons, but I also want Trevor to have a real fucking line to stand behind too. I'd rather see both of those things happen before I saw anything on the defensive side, to be honest with you. Because I still think that by the 2nd round, we could find a decent corner or a decent safety like you were talking about, Isaiah. That'll tighten up that secondary enough to keep us competitive. I think, honestly, our biggest problem on defense was just coaching, really. And Monteric Brown is he's just bad at man coverage. But
what part of our what defense back we got that's not bad at man coverage?
Jarian's pretty damn good at man coverage. Jarian's damn good at man coverage.
Okay,
and I think Tyson Campbell's good at man coverage. He's just bad at finishing the play. He'll follow him all the way to the end of the play, and then he'll just step aside and watch him catch that bitch. I have never seen no shit like that before, but he did that shit just this past week. It pissed me off.
That's one we didn't talk about earlier. Was
that means he ain't good at it? Damn it! Who?
We didn't give Monkey his props for taking Jarian Jones. I don't think anybody else was thinking to take him there.
No,
he took him, and if he damn sure turned out.
Stud of a pick. He did damn good there. Props to Balky for that one.
Once again,
Jarian's a dog. But also, though, I'm gonna be honest with you though. Jarian has a resume to come with him, though.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he had a hell of a resume to come with him.
He got hurt, and that's why we took him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know who is a free agent potentially that he might resign, but you know who's a free agent potentially that we could bring in to play guard.
Who?
He's been getting reps at guard for a really good team right now.
Who?
Makai Becton.
Makai Becton. Oh, dude, I was just reading
Mount Becton. He will be 26 at the start of next season. He was the tackle Eric that the Jets drafted. The way he was like 360, 37. He will be an unrestricted free agent if they don't re-sign him. He's been playing damn good football up there in Philly. And he'll be 26 at the start of next season. He's still young especially for an offensive lineman. I mean, those dudes play.
I know who he is. That's
I'm just saying. Yeah. Like he
just paved the way for Saquon's 2,000.
If they don't re-sign him, there's a good chance we spend a good bit of money to try to get him over here.
Yeah,
no, I mean I agree, Teal Taliban. Absolutely. I'm just saying, like, how we draft and how we pick, we're gonna try and hit somebody on like day 2, day 3.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It's
Like,
yeah. We're not known for taking that
unless we can somehow like trade back and then trade up and like get 2 first-round picks and take like Will Campbell at like 20 or something if he's there. Or get Booker in the top of the second round or something. But like I just don't see Balky like Balky's not wasting a top 10 pick on a tackle or a guard. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Now he may trade back outside of the top 10 because he likes to trade back. If we could get a haul for, I mean, let's say we get a day 2 pick or their first round pick, and we get a next year day 1 or day 2 pick. I mean, that's a solid trade. We move back. We have more capital. We take our tackle, or we take our guard or tackle, whoever we're going to take later in the first round. And then we got 2 second-round picks or two third-round picks, whatever it is, three third-round picks. We have Minnesota's 3 and 4 this year, don't we?
What, third round?
Yeah, we have Minnesota's 3rd and 4, don't we? No, that was for the trade back last year.
Oh, yeah, we did trade with them. That's right.
Hold on, let me do my research real quick, Mr. Producer Man.
I had it in front of me, but I turned it over. I had all that in front of me, but I turned it over now.
2025. Hold on. We have 10 picks.
We have a whole hell of a lot of them.
Yeah, we have a whole hell of a lot. We're probably gonna get some more. To be honest,
yeah,
I know he's gonna trade back at least once in that draft.
Of course he is.
Oh yeah, dude, it's coming.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. That was 2020. Okay, there we go. So we have round 1, round 2, round 3 from the Vikings, round 4 from the Vikings, 5, 6 from Seattle, and then round 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 day 1 and day 2 picks, and then we have 6 day 3 picks. So
yeah,
I mean, we'll see.
Now,
I don't know.
I mean, you got to give Balky his credit because he be working them draft picks though. He be working them. I don't know how he pulls it off, but he does it because some things we be scratching our head at. Then you look at it later, you be like, "I'll be damned, he pulled that off, didn't he?"
So he did it. He did it with Trayvon Walker, and he did it with fucking damn it. What was that? No. The Devin Lloyd. So he picked Trayvon Walker number 1, then he traded up and got Devin Lloyd.
Right.
If Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia, now I hate Georgia, so this dude's got to be a good football player for me to say this. If he falls past like 21 or 22, we need to move up and get his ass. Okay. Him or Nick Amenwari from South Carolina, because Starks is fast. I bet you Starks runs a low 4.33 340. He's 6'1", 205 pounds at safety. That will sure up at least one side if we decide to keep Cisco. Nick Amenwari, 6'3", 227, expected to run a 4.3 or 4.4 40. Another guy that instantly shores up one side of our field, our backfield back there. Now, I would probably prefer Amenwari, but I think he's going top 15. I think he gets taken off the board early because of his size and speed. At 6'3", 227 at safety, if he runs a sub 4.5, like sub 4.4, he's going top 15 easy. But I would love to get one of those guys. I think one guy nobody's talking about, Omarion Hampton, the North Carolina running back. I think if he falls to the second round, as much as I love Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby, Omarion Hampton, I'm taking him if he's there at number 5 in the second round.
I agree. We need somebody else besides them two.
I mean,
Dearness Johnson, they can go on to send him on now.
So Omarion Hampton, 6 foot tall, 220 pounds. He's expected to run around somewhere in the 4.4s.
Okay.
So he's just as fast as Etienne. He's bigger than both of them.
But I think, and I've been saying this for at least the last 3-4 weeks, but I've seen it at the beginning. Etienne is better in the passing game now at this point. He really is.
I get that, but you got to think Etienne's on his last year of his contract.
I know. I understand that. Yeah.
And we have a new coaching staff coming in. Do we do we re-sign him? Do you think, or do you think
yes,
we draft a running back high and get rid of him?
No,
No,
I think Trevor's going to play a bigger role in that than we think.
you re-sign him and make him the third down back that comes out the backfield, because he's better right now on the edge, using that speed than he is trying to run up the middle on a line they don't block, that they're not apparently not going to pay attention to anyway until about the third or fourth round. And so we may be looking at the same bullshit again as far as the offensive line. Take a breath. All right, now, with all that being said, if that is the case and we go into next year with this same raggedy behind offensive line, Balky should be fired before even the first ball start gets snapped, because he has failed.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
I don't care if you do have a new coaching staff, whatever. If we go into next year with this same offensive line that has been raggedy for the last 3 years, yes, before the first ball is snapped for the preseason, he needs to be let go, because he did not do what he needed to be done.
Now, I know I've said this. I think you've said this, Eric. What's the one type of play? What's the one type of person we need to draft for our offensive line that we ain't got none of on offense or defense?
Oh, the Samoans.
A Samoan. Jonah Savainia is there. Arizona, 6'5", 336 tackle. He can play guard.
Yeah,
monster of a dude.
He can play guard. I'm just saying. He's sitting there.
You get no arguments out of me for that.
Hey,
you get no argument out of me.
I would be him and Tyler Booker, the guard at Alabama. He will also. They're projected to be right there at 4 and 5 is where they're projected right now. Now, of course, a lot can change in the next coming months. Whatever it is, but that's a dude. Either one of those dudes, I'd be very happy if we brought them in and put them at guard next to Anton Harrison. And I mean, you can't go wrong with either of those guys, to be honest. I think, like, if they're there, because they're supposed to be, I'm absolutely okay with taking a skill position, either corner, not safety at top 5. I'm not taking a safety top 5. I don't care. No. I'll trade back and get a safety. I'm fine with that. But corner or wide receiver at number 5, if and only if we are going to make sure 100% that we get either of those two guys, or an offensive lineman at number 37, that's worthy of the pick.
Yep.
And that is only if we 100% make sure our second pick in the draft will be an interior offensive lineman. I don't think there's any centers in this class that are expected to go top 2 rounds. If they are, it's ass end to the second round. So we really can't do anything at center, which sucks. We need a guy to sit behind Morse for one more year and potentially take over at some point in the year.
Yeah. Man.
I just can't wait to see Trevor come out with a competent coaching staff, man.
Ooh, damn.
Because you think about it. Even in the year that we went to the playoffs, our offense was still predictable.
Yes.
And
that's how we ended up down 27-0 at halftime. Well, it wasn't 27-0. It was close though.
27-7.
Top center is ranked 93 in this draft class.
Wow.
Ouch.
But you're right. It was predictable. That's why you got.
And then before that, all we've had was Urban Meyer. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence has never seen an offensive scheme or an offensive plan install that was deceptive, that was a multifaceted gadget tool. He's never seen one that just was prolific in scoring and efficiency since he got to the NFL.
Right.
When he was at Clemson, they ran plays that you didn't know it was coming.
Well, when you have a coach that is running plays from 2017 that when he won a Super Bowl with, they're not going to be too.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like, honestly, swear to God, I feel like Doug Peterson just like busted out an old dusty book from his attic when he got hired here and just said, "This will do just fine."
Like we said about CJ, once you got film on him, And if they're not willing to change any, it's like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they even make it out of the fucking wild card.
Well, they not.
Who do they end up with? Who'd they end up with? I forgot.
I think the Chargers.
Yeah, they're fucked.
No, is it the Chargers or is it the? Hell, let me go back up and look.
Chargers picked up Zeke today for their playoff push.
Yeah, like he really don't make that much of a difference.
I mean, when you got nobody else, you got to do something.
Yeah.
He's still decent between the tackles up the middle.
I was about to say, he's still got a lot of weight. He'll bruise through that hole.
Yeah, no.
Steelers, I think. Oh, I think Teal Taliban just said Steelers.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, they might pull that one out.
No, they got the Chargers.
Do they have the Chargers?
I think, they got the Chargers because I think the Steelers got the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken.
Los Angeles Chargers, they are cooked.
Yeah, they got the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, they are cooked. Absolutely.
Vlad McConkey's about to get all over him.
Yeah.
I love that they kept I love that ESPN, the NFL website, they kept our throwback logo the whole year.
Well, somebody overlooked that. They weren't trying to do us any favors. Somebody just overlooked it.
I know.
But yeah, they got the Chargers, man, and it's gonna be a long day for them. It really is.
Cooked. That's what it is.
Yeah,
cooked.
Yeah, in your words, Trevor, cooked.
Straight up fried.
Yeah,
they are deep fried, boy. Man, I don't know. I feel like at this point, though, I was hoping today would be filled with joy and optimism for the future. I still have.
Hey, what's up, Jags United?
Hey,
Jags United. What's up, man?
Hey, the late night hours.
Oh, look, please.
You coming to third and Teal after dark. Ooh.
Yeah, he must not have anything else to do. He may be drunk. He had been snorting on some stuff. I don't know what he's doing in that bar.
He said we're in a good. Are we in a good mood? Hey, man.
Honestly, we're gonna get.
We're in a better mood than we could be because honestly, it would absolutely be the Jaguar thing to do to retain everyone and get one more chance. And blame it all on injuries. That would be the Jaguar thing to do. I'm glad that we made a change. I mean, like we've said before, I don't know how long. Obviously, I don't think you've been here the whole episode. It's a pretty long one today. But, I wish Balky would be gone too. But the more that we watch the presser and actually break into it, it's hard to fault all of the things that Shad said. So, I don't know. I guess I can't be too mad.
Yeah, but Balky still is on the hot seat.
Balky's still ass cheeks for sure.
He's still on the hot seat.
He's still bad.
Now, even though he got away with the players that he's drafted though. You have to give him credit for that. He got them. However he got them. Now this last free agent haul, as we said earlier, it sucked. Now maybe Armstead will redeem himself by moving back inside at tackle because we did watch film and show when he was at tackle, he was more effective.
Correct.
Okay. He was. We did see that. Whoever the defensive coordinator coming in, hopefully we ain't gonna be doing that wide gap crap that we've been doing this year because it doesn't work.
It was so disappointing too. It really was because Ryan Nielsen did come in with a lot of fire and he was grilling, these players that we put on a pedestal for our team, and he was really handing them their ass. It seemed like really like, hey, you need to step up here, you need to step up here, you need to step up here, and then to see how it all fell apart, like it really is like the downfall of this team should be studied.
You said it. To see the downfall of the team every week, defensively and offensively.
We watch Jags. Jags United, that right there, that is my point. That has been my point the whole time. Like, are there positives that Balky has done? Sure. I cannot forget the times that he has tried to screw up a for sure good thing. But at the same time, there are some positives. But you make the overall best point that could ever be made. A 31% win percentage anywhere else, a 31% efficiency rate in any other job on the planet, you are fired long ago.
Look, right now, what's his name? With the Caldwell, when he left, when he was fired, I think he had like 37 wins in 8 years as GM. Balky, what Balky has like 20. Oh, here it is right here. But in 4 years, 25 wins and 43. Yeah, 25 and 43. One playoff win, one playoff loss. Caldwell from 2013, 2020, 37 and 91. So, yeah, I think Shard just did what he said. Okay, this is what we're gonna do, and that's why he's not even considering signing Balky. I mean, re-signing Balky right now. He's got a year left. Let's run this year and see what happens. And it's only fair. Like you said, he can't. Well, he can, but logically, it makes no sense to get rid of 85 people. Just to bring in 85 new people and hope you're gonna change something. Overnight.
I could see the argument for like there are some good things,
but we can do 42 and a half though. I don't know who the half.
Hey, Balky's the half. Balky's a half a dude. No, yeah. I think my biggest thing though is like I said, or like you said, you were like, it seems only fair, but I don't.
Hey, you too, Jags.
Hey, you too, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I'll be on your show Thursday or Friday.
Hell yeah.
Hey, man. But I think it's like you said, man. It just comes down to what point there are goods, but like I can't see a reason that he should still have a job. Honestly. So what? You did the basic things that a GM should do. Okay, I'm glad that you did the basics things, but this organization is still failing, so that's clearly not enough.
Hold on for a minute, Trevor. This is what we was talking about. For the Jaguars to change direction, you have to actually change direction. Retaining Trent Balky greatly diminishes my interest in that job. Lots of promise, but same roadblocks.
That's been talked about earlier. For sure.
Yeah, and there's a prominent head coaching candidate on the Jaguars retaining Trent Balky. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. If you're gonna let Trent Balky hold you back, then we don't want you anyway. Hey, he's here. You got to deal with him. We got to deal with him. Hopefully, by the end of next year, the season, we'll be looking at him leaving and we bringing in a new GM. So hopefully, I don't. Oh. Hey, you got to admit he does notice talent pretty decently. I mean, you got to look at the draft like, okay, all right. Besides Trevor, some of the other ones he brought in that weren't, they may have taken a little longer to develop, but they're there now, and we see it.
Well, Balky said he was hoping to get the interview request out today. There's still not one for Ben Johnson from us yet.
Well, Ben Johnson still got to prepare for playoffs. So he's
it's just a request tracker. It's not a review. Yeah. It's not an interview. No, I'm saying like there's a live tracker where it's just tracking who submitted a request, not any that he accepted or nothing like that. Just a request. We haven't even requested.
Look, I don't want to even know Chris. I don't think I know when he's coming in. All right, when he's coming in to talk, or we going to meet him wherever. But as far as just the request tracker, I could care less. Yeah, we can request everybody that's out there. It doesn't matter. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, but honestly though, it was kind of disappointing not to hear that both of them were gone. You're like, why? But as I said before, once I listened to the thing a couple of times, I was like, it's logical. Okay, it makes a little bit of sense, even though I don't want him to be here. Yeah.
Also, I gotta go ahead and say this too. So remember how I said that I don't like that we were getting some weak media coverage, and I think Isaiah, you even texted today. You said, I hope someone close to the team kind of has the balls to go out and ask the real questions. Like, why is this happening? I did find out today, some of the people are being straight up told by the Jaguars PR team, you are not going to ask this question. You are not going to ask this question or that question.
I saw something earlier that said, Tony Baselli must have got a huge paycheck to go on there and talk like he did on the show today.
Say what?
Somebody said, I bet Tony Baselli got a huge paycheck to go on the show and talk like he did today.
Oh, yeah.
So it sounds like he was very dismissive of the Bulky not being gone, and
yeah, he was.
He probably talked about how I didn't see it, but probably talked about how it was a good idea.
Well, basically what we've been saying. Logically it makes sense. He hasn't drafted bad. The one with Trayvon or whatever, but he hasn't been bad. And it makes sense. It makes sense. He got a year left on his contract. Let him work out that extra year, and let's see what happens. Yes, Mr. Trevor.
I got the perfect word for it, or the phrase for it, and we've been minting it all year.
What's that?
He's just not good enough.
Okay.
He's not good enough.
Yeah. He's not.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we had to scrape together reasons why he should keep his job to even come close to the amount of reasons he shouldn't. And we're a failing organization right now. You have no thing to stand out 110% and assuredly say that he should absolutely be here. Not one person can say that.
No.
Okay.
No.
So if that being the case and we're a failing organization, get the fuck out. Get out. Pack your shit. Leave. Because at this point, not good enough's not going to cut it.
Well.
And
yeah.
I'm not going to. Hey, that goes from player to GM. That's everybody.
Well, see, Shad chose the worst of two evils. He chose an old coach that was stubborn, didn't want to take charge of the play calling, let his little stooge play call the whole time. Defensively, we got worse. Offensively, we got worse. But we got better players, but we got worse as a team.
I swear, we did get more firepower and get worse.
Yeah. How does that work? How does that work?
Yep.
Coaching.
Yeah. I mean, you talk to the head, you go and talk to the head coach. You talk to the main man with the money. So you can't say you're not getting what you're asking for, right?
Yeah, you cut Balky out of the way.
Yeah. There's no middleman.
Yeah. No, Doug absolutely needed to go too. First of all, I just want everybody that's watching right now. I know some of y'all haven't been watching from the beginning because this year we started this channel. Which, by the way, congratulations, fellas. We are, I believe, very successful for what we've been able to do in one season, despite the disparities of the team. That being said, I know some of you haven't been watching from the beginning, but we have always said that Doug needed to go.
Yes.
Like, we've not been save Doug, fire Balky.
No.
We have always been of the opinion they all need to go.
They need to go. Goodbye. See you later. Sayonara.
All of them need to go. And we've always been of that opinion.
Choose.
Yeah, it's never been one or the other. But I will say too, it was even more confirmed when Doug had the balls to stand on the podium and say, you wouldn't understand it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Leave now. How about you're fine? You're done. You're done.
if you didn't want him gone by then, yeah, you wanted him gone after that. Because that was just insulting to everyone. That was insulting to everyone.
I mean, especially it's Brett Martineau, a dude who gets paid to interview people, talk football, watch football. You wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't understand. Right. Yeah, you wouldn't understand. And
now,
to all you guys that are constantly in here analyzing the team every day, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that get paid to talk football and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. He ain't good looking, and he wasn't a great NFL player. That's how you know that motherfucker knows ball.
Yeah, he has to. You can't be ugly, not a player, and dumb. That's not happening.
I'm just saying.
No, that's true though.
Oh my goodness.
Or I definitely, when I really wanted him gone was when he came out and said that the team shouldn't have reacted the way they did to the Aziz hit.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Yeah. That's when I really wanted him gone. I'm like, bro, I know you're fucking lying right now, dude. Because if you, when Doug was still playing at quarterback, boy, let Doug take one of those hits. Let Doug take that hit.
Doug was never good enough for to take that hit. So
yeah, because he was never on the field. That's right.
Yeah.
Who minted him the quarterback whisperer, by the way? I'm not gonna lie, because people were calling him that for a long time.
Because he had Carson Wentz playing good, and then he won with fucking Nick Foles.
Yeah, that's what that was. That's where he get that from.
You get one. You do one thing good for a season, and then you get minted the whisperer.
I thought Wentz was kind of mid that year, and then the defense was really good.
No, he had like 30. He had like 34, 35 passing touchdowns and a lot of yards. So he was the MVP front runner until he got hurt.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he did get hurt. I remember that.
No, I mean, it's like
being the front runner though. But he did do good, I guess.
If I came in here and I started this channel, you guys joined me, and then we instantly shot up to like 10,000 followers in our first year. We'd be the YouTube whisperers or whatever, the kitty whisperers, whatever we want to call it. Like, it's just, if you do something good one time, you're the whisperer or whatever it is from now on.
You're the GOAT. Stupid. Yeah. I was about to say, because all I've ever seen him do is actually trash quarterbacks. Because Carson Wentz I don't even know where the hell he's at anymore.
So. You ain't see him? You ain't see him Sunday in Kansas City? Looking raggedy? You ain't see him looking raggedy in Kansas City? He looked horrible, man. He really did. He looked he really didn't have nobody out there with him either, but yeah, he didn't look too good. But yeah, he's down there with Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he in good hands. He's in good hands. Yeah. And you know Andy gonna take care of him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah.
It was fun.
Jaguars on the Shark Con looking for unpredictability with new head coach. To win, deception is big part of it.
Man, it really is.
Well, he said it. You know, we were predictable.
Yeah.
When your owner says you're predictable, we say you're predictable. We look at film and say, you're predictable. You're not threatening anybody. You don't scare anyone. When one team plays you all game long with single high safety, that should tell you something.
I swear to God, dude. That used to piss me off, dude. We got a burner of a rookie receiver, and they're playing single high safety, and we never take advantage of it. Fuck! I hate this team, man. I get so mad. No, I knew we were cooked, though, when the Browns came to Jacksonville. It's the first home opener for the regular season. And you got Browns players calling our plays in the stands, bro. I'm like, oh, man, we are cooked.
Yeah.
Cooked.
Yeah, so, you know, once again, you know, analytics. Doug went by analytics a lot. That's why he went for 4th and 1 all the damn time, and 4th and 2, and 4th and 3 when he kicked the field goal and get some points. But yeah, so analytics did his ass in finally. You know, honestly, it did his ass in because the apparently the owner was doing some analytics too, or had somebody doing them for him when it came down to the decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest though. Yeah, he missed the big one, that the 31% win percentage.
Well, he probably understands that too.
He probably saw it. He just selectively left that one off.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I think we'll keep this one.
I really don't think he really wanted to talk about Balky today. Although he's probably made some decisions, on that circumstance as well. I think he wanted people to really understand why he did what he did. He chose the route he did choose so people would understand it a little bit better and don't think he just, just sitting there not paying attention to anything.
Well, that makes him look like he's not paying attention even more, though, because people were never confused about why he got rid of Doug Peterson, but yet that's all he wanted to prove. People were confused about why the fuck Trent Baalke has a job, and he diverted most questions about that. Well, so while trying to prove that, he is in touch and he knows what's going on and defending his decision to get rid of the coaches, he seems more out of touch because that's not even what people want to know.
Not really. If you read in between the lines, he would tell you would see that basically what he's saying is it was the worst of two evils, the best choice of two evils. You know what I mean? We already know you have the players, but for some reason they're not performing on the field. We're predictable. Right. He said it. We're predictable. Yes. Everybody knows what we're gonna do. And when we try, did anybody watch Sunday after we made them good plays? We get a good 8, 9, 10 yard gain, and then next thing you know, we do a crazy reverse and end up 20 yards.
Hey, did anybody watch Mac Jones run 10 yards backwards and get sacked to take the fucking sack, dude?
That's the kind of crap he's talking about.
Yeah, no, that I agree with. I agree with that. But I'll be honest though, like the NFL of old, I agree. You usually don't clean both of them. You know what I mean? You fire if you're going. Well, you fire them both, but then you hire a GM first. Nowadays, bro.
Also, I think honestly, I think if we didn't, and it just crossed my mind, it really did. If we didn't have such a high draft pick, he may have fired him today. But that process. Think about it though. You already got to find a head coach. You got and the person you're really looking for, if that's who you want, is in the playoffs, probably going to the Super Bowl. Probably, if nothing drastic happens, they're gonna be in the Super Bowl. So you got at least 3 or 4 more weeks, at least before you can even talk to them, right? Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, at least you still have a GM in place to do something. You understand? If you just get started, compared to being without a GM and a head coach during this period, you got senior games coming up. The combine gonna be coming up. I mean, at least you have somebody in place that you can talk to and you get something started until you put a head coach in place. So I mean, to me, that's a part of don't get rid of 85 people just to bring 85 new people in and not knowing what the hell going on. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not like Baalke don't know what the team needs now because he's been here. He shouldn't understand that. Now,
I don't think he knows, man.
Wait a minute. Now, the question is he going to actually pull the string and get an offensive lineman in here like we need? I understand people say, well, okay, yeah. But I think our defensively, the main problem was the scheme than the players out there. I do believe. You look at Cisco the year before, Cisco balled out the year before. It's this year he couldn't. And what happened? What changed from last year to this year? We brought in a new coordinator with a new scheme that's supposed to be hybrid. Well, have be paying this. Cisco not a man-to-man safety. He can't cover man-to-man. They didn't want to play Dewey. They wouldn't even tell us what the hell was wrong with Dewey till the last 3-4 weeks, right? They had Darby in there forever, right? Antonio Johnson. He can't tackle the boy can't tackle air. All right. So I mean, let's see what happens from here. But yeah, I think basically Shaw didn't want to talk about it because basically what he said is, look, I chose the worst of two evils right here. Okay. I could have got rid of both of them, but that would have put us back even further at this time of the year. So I chose the more logical choice, and that was get rid of the coaches because apparently coaches not doing anything. We losing too many close games. At the end, when we get ready to score, we're making too many mistakes. Oh, that's coaching. That's coaching. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm going this time. It's more like, you ever been to a doctor and they ask you a question and they look in the book and say, okay, if it says no, you go here. You says yes, you go here. And basically I think that's what he's doing. He's going by his own little table. And now he goes, okay, I done got rid of the last 2 years I got rid of the defense coordinator. This year I got rid of the whole coaching staff. Now, if we don't perform now, there's only one person left to get rid of because he's bringing in a new coach.
I think honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he'll fire him for. I still think he'll fire him for Ben Johnson.
Well,
I think if you read between the lines, I do think that's pretty much what he said. I think that's why a lot of people. He said he was like, if you make a compelling argument, I'd be willing to fire him while Trent Baalke's on the call. So I mean, I feel like he said that. But again, that being said, though, I do feel like he sent plenty of subliminal messages to Ben Johnson today, because I think Isaiah is absolutely right. I think he knows that was Ben Johnson that spoke to Sports Illustrated. I think he knows that for sure. And I think that being said, he was talking straight to him. That's who the fuck he was talking to. I think if that's the case, you should have just fired Baalke to begin with, because again, I understand what you're saying about you got senior games and you got stuff like that. But fuck, dude, if we're planning on getting somebody new anyway, if you really want Ben Johnson, you know what that comes with. You know he wants a new GM. You know he does not want Baalke there. That's very clear. Okay? Keep your scouting team. Let your scouting team do the work, and they'll have a fresh draft report for whoever the fuck takes over when they come in. Because Baalke's just going to start drafting and setting up a board for himself. Like it was himself. And most people don't draft like Baalke do.
That is true.
So again, all you're doing is letting Baalke set up work that someone's going to have to go back and redo anyway. So, I mean, end of the day, you know what that price comes with. I really hope Ben Johnson still at least takes the interview. I hope he sees he'll see what Schott had to say today. I know he'll see it. And I hope to God that he read between the lines just like we did. So,
yeah, you hope so. But we will see. We will see.
It's definitely the most Duval thing to do, though, to make him read between the lines instead of just making it fucking obvious.
Well, you can't make it obvious because they hit you with tampering.
No. You don't have to say. You don't have to reach out and tell him. You could just say absolutely that you want Ben Johnson. You're allowed to say that. That's not tampering. You could say who you want. You could say who your targets are. You could say who you'd like to have. That's not tampering. Yeah. Tampering is when you actively make attempts to dissuade them during the season. That's tampering. He could have come out this morning, fired both of them motherfuckers, and said, my full intention is to bring Ben Johnson on as the next head coach of this team, and we'll see where it goes from there. You know, he could have absolutely done something like that.
Well, I like Serena Williams.
Okay, I'm with it. Duval, man, let's get the fuck out of here, y'all. It's time to go on vacation, man. The season's over.
All right,
congratulations.
Yep. Pick 5. We'll come back with some draft talk soon. We'll see y'all later. Have a good little bit till we come back. I know y'all gonna miss us. And Duval, man.
Hey, we'll put up some reruns for you. All right. Duval. Yeah. We're out of here.
What the fuck? What the hell?
Oh, we was almost out.
We was almost out of here.
Coming.